We had isolated severe storms on Memorial Day Monday. Today, we're expecting far more of that, unfortunately. A busy severe weather day coming up across the state of Texas. Let's talk about it in this Tuesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 28th of May, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Building-in-Chief David Reimer. We are expecting a pretty busy day in the thunderstorm department across a pretty large area of Texas, with the potential of multiple rounds of thunderstorms. One may already be underway by the time you watch this morning. We could see another 2 to 3 by the time we get into Wednesday morning. A lot of mischief to deal with, which is going to make trying to pinpoint specific forecasts more difficult, but we'll do our best here. Let's start off with the severe weather outlook for today, tonight, into Wednesday morning from the Storm Prediction Center. We have seen an upgrade to the severe weather probabilities and an expansion. To be honest, one of the largest severe weather outlooks in terms of the state being under geographically that I've seen in a long time. Pretty much the eastern 80% of Texas under the threat of severe storms today, either scattered to numerous severe thunderstorms possible. Again, could already have some underway this morning in northwest Texas, Texoma, North Texas. As we get into later this morning, this afternoon, tonight, and Wednesday morning, again, the eastern 80% of Texas under the threat of at least scattered to several severe thunderstorms. The exact corridors of highest potential for storms and any maximas will have to be determined as we get into the event and actually get eyes on what is going on in real time, because this is the kind of an event any weather model is not going to be able to handle, because there are so many outflow boundaries, so many variables in place that just make it impossible for these convective allowing models, CAMs, to accurately pinpoint a future radar forecast. Nevertheless, the way it's looking now, the potential will exist for the strongest storms today to produce at least one of these modes. Maybe some may be doing this in groups. We could have hail, baseball size or larger. We could have, especially in thunderstorm complexes, organized ones, the potential for hurricane force winds, 75 to 90 miles an hour. The potential will exist for a few tornadoes today, though the tornado risk remains very low to low. A few spin-up tornadoes are certainly not out of the question, but the main issues today by far will be hail, damaging winds, and heavy rainfall that could cause flooding. So again, eastern 80% of Texas under the threat of either scattered to several severe storms today, tonight, into Wednesday morning. I'm going to show you the North American model now. Now again, I want to emphasize, probably none of these models are going to have a great grasp of what the radar is going to look like at times today. I'm showing you this just to kind of give a... Well, I got to show you something, right? This one probably has at least the right idea in that we're going to see multiple thunderstorm complexes across the state today. This morning, storms in North Texas, Texoma, Northwest Texas, maybe the Arklatex with hail. As we get into this afternoon, more storms developing across West Texas, probably west of Interstate 27, Texas, New Mexico state line. Those storms could grow upscale into a complex that then moves east tonight into the big country, the Concho Valley, the hill country, central Texas, the Brazos Valley, even southeast Texas tomorrow morning. That would be the one that we'd have to be really concerned with more of a high-end damaging straight line wind threat, potentially a delayed show type event with these really high-end wind gusts, potentially with damaging swaths of wind over dozens to hundreds of miles. But that is not a guarantee. If this morning's storms end up, going all the way south into central Texas, the Brazos Valley, southeast Texas, and stabilize the air mass, that would limit the potential for, a high-end delayed show tonight into Wednesday morning, moving across the state. Nevertheless, we're going to see scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms today, tonight, tomorrow morning, maybe even tomorrow afternoon, across, at times, the eastern 80% of Texas. It is not going to rain every single moment, all of today, in any one given spot, but there will be scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorm chances. And again, strongest storms, big hail, big wind, low tornado threat, heavy rainfall, We have a lot of tropical moisture in place, so we could see a quick 2 to 4 inches of rain in an hour in some spots, which would result in some flooding, especially in urbanized areas. As it looks now, yeah, we're probably going to have storms to deal with even well into tonight. And in the pre-dawn hours Wednesday, we'll probably have another complex of storms moving from west to east across Texas. I wish I could be more specific geographically. I really do, but the honest truth here is we're just going to have to see where all these boundaries end up this afternoon, where those storms are going to fire, and then we'll be able to pinpoint, more accurately on a map where they're going to go tonight. But again, we're going to have a round of storms this morning, it looks like, because they're already underway. We're going to have storms this afternoon, storms tonight, storms into Wednesday morning. Now, we may have a quieter, I hate to use the Q word, a lower chance of storms tomorrow, but with outflow boundaries being left over from storms tonight, depending on how worked over or not the atmosphere is, we could see another round of isolated scattered storms tomorrow across, parts of the eastern, half to the eastern 80% of Texas. Some of those storms could have some hail and wind. Thursday may end up being a busier day on the dryline. Panhandle, West Texas, the Permian Basin, we may see scattered to several supercells with very large hail, damaging winds, maybe some tornado threat, and then those may evolve into a cluster with damaging winds and hail and heavy rain that moves east across Texas into Friday morning, with thunderstorm chances continuing into Friday. So, we're in a busy pattern, for sure. We're kind of getting into this whole storms develop out west, merge into a squall line or something, then sweep east across the state as we get into the following morning. Then we do it all over again that afternoon. It's kind of the late spring, early summer pattern, but clearly very, very unsettled. But I hope you understand what I'm saying here is we're going to have a lot of hail. We're going to have a lot of wind. We'll probably have a few tornadoes, but at this point, I'm not saying we're dealing with something like Saturday night. We're not dealing with, one of these high-end tornado setups. We're dealing with a lot of wind and hail, which in itself is problematic, and heavy rain. But again, if we get real worried about tornadoes, we'll tell you. We'll probably have tornado warnings over the next few days, but again, don't, get yourself all worked up. That being said, if we have one tornado today and it happens to come down your street, it's a big deal to you. So pay attention, but it's going to be okay. We're not talking about the next, crazy tornado outbreak here. It's going to be a busy day. It's going to be a busy night. We're going to have a lot of storms to deal with, but let's not get our undies all up in a bunch here unnecessarily. Forecast rain totals today through Saturday night. Again, we continue. It is going to get wet. Let's just say pretty much, again, eastern 80% of Texas, looking at least at 1/10 of an inch of rain. The eastern Texas Panhandle, West Texas, Northwest Texas, 1 to 3 inches of rain through Sunday morning. Texoma, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, the Hill Country, North Texas, the potential for 3 to 8 inches of rain by Sunday morning. The Brazos Valley, Southeast Texas, East Texas, Northeast Texas, the Arklatex, we're looking at about 1.5 to 5 inches of rain over the next few days. Edwards Plateau, South Central Texas, the Coastal Plains, about 1/2 to 3 inches of rain. Permian Basin, down into the Big Bend, maybe 1/10 to 1 inch of rain. Rio Grande Valley, Deep South Texas, into the Coastal Bend, low amounts. 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. Of course, if we get storms, locally higher amounts, well over, a few inches. Looks like folks west of the Davis-Guadalupe Mountains, or the Davis Mountains, the Guadalupe Mountains, down to the Trans-Pecos, points west in the borderland, precipitation chances remain low. Clearly, with this much rain forecasted in several regions of Texas, the threat of flooding will increase. Later today, perhaps, if we do end up dealing with multiple rounds of these storms, and then, chances continue Wednesday, Thursday, and then it looks like Friday could be a pretty wet day across the state again, with heavy rain and flooding possible, along with some severe weather chances. A very active pattern, and we're just going to take it a day at a time, and that's all we can do. Wildfire outlook over the next few days, as you might expect given that forecast rain totals. Eastern 80% of Texas, the wildfire danger should be low. West of the Davis Mountains, the Guadalupe Mountains, the Big Bend, Trans-Pecos, borderland, El Paso, far west Texas, fire danger will remain very high to locally extreme because dry weather continues. Temperatures over the next few days, well, one good thing about the storm and rain chances is we're going to start knocking these, crazy hot temperatures back down. Today, highs in the 80s. North Texas, Northeast Texas, Northwest Texas, the Panhandle. It's still in the 90s and triple digits south of there. So we go into tomorrow, highs in the 70s to middle 80s, northern half of the state, upper 80s to maybe around 100, southern half of the state. Same thing on Thursday, a little warmer though, West Texas, the Panhandle, the Permian Basin, out to the borderland, and then, rest of the state, we're either going to be in the 80s or the 90s, maybe a few triple digits on the Mexico border down to the Big Bend. 80s, northern half of the state on Friday, maybe some upper 70s, 80s to 90s, southern half of the state, and then on Saturday, kind of the same thing, 80s, northern half of the state, 90s to low triple digits, southern half of the state. Really, it'll depend each day where these outflow boundaries set up and where the rain-cooled air masses go. But again, we're going to be busy the next few days. I realize this has not been a helpful forecast for most of you, considering I just used pretty much over 200 of the 254 counties in Texas under the risk zone today. But again, this is just where you keep an eye on your radar apps. You can use the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. We've got a radar under the radar tab. You can use our other radar. If you click on the more tab and click on zoom radar, we've got radar there. You can get your local weather forecast for more specific rain timing estimates for your area. If we need to have live severe weather coverage, we will. We'll have storm chasers out and about. And again, we'll keep you all updated with frequent updates on our social media channels, all that. It's going to be okay. I know it's busy. I know it's been a rough spring, but we'll get through it. All right, that's going to be it for your Texas Weather Roundup this Tuesday morning. Meteorologist Jason Cooley will have an update closer to lunchtime. And again, if we need to, we'll have severe weather coverage this afternoon live from my super duper mega hotel room. That is just a hotel room, but we'll make it work. All right, have a good one, y'all. We'll keep you updated. Keep an eye on the sky today. God bless.